Didn't think I'd be doing this, but since you guys won't listen to me, I gotta film one of these cringy videos in front of my car. Jokes aside, this video is gonna change how you see the world. Because after I discovered these things, it changed how I saw the world, how I operated, how I did things in life. And the car behind me has no purpose in this video. It's just to get your attention so you will listen to me. I'm not trying to sell you anything. That's my phone. Look, I'm not trying to sell you anything in this video. I'm simply just trying to save you years of frustration and time and helping you become a more successful, brighter, happier human. So let's begin. For those of you that have no idea who the heck I am, I've been doing YouTube for 13 years. I've grown multiple channels to over 10 million subscribers, and this channel is all about sharing my success, my stories, my findings, my strategies, my frameworks, more importantly, my blueprints. That's why the channel is called Bluprint. So if you find any of that interesting, please be sure to subscribe. It's completely free. First thing I want to talk about is assumptions. This is something that you believe to be true, but later in life, you figure out it's false. And these things hold us back from certain things that we want in life. And these assumptions typically come into our lives from friends, from family, maybe schools, whatever it is. There's certain beliefs, things that you believe to be true, but that are not. I'll share with you 2 assumptions that I had in my life that majorly impacted me and prevented me from getting some success. The first assumption that I had was I was a very shy person. I was scared to talk to people, scared to go in crowds. I was just a shy person, but that is what I labeled myself as. I told myself, oh, I'm just gonna be a shy person for the rest of my life. And because I'm a shy person, I won't be able to grow this big YouTube channel that I wanna grow. That assumption really held me back in life because the way that you label yourself is your limitations in life. And since I labeled myself as a shy person, I couldn't get the things that I wanted to do. But it simply just wasn't true. I was a shy person because that's how I was growing up, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be like that in the future. So of course, I worked at not being a shy person. I made a ton of videos. I went out of my way to break out of my comfort zone and build more friendships. And slowly, over the years, that shy belief completely vanished. And I was no longer a shy person. I mean, like 2 years ago, I did a live show in front of 12,000 people live. I was not shy. I'm not shy anymore. There's none of that in me. The other assumption that I had was I believed once you got out of school, once you got out of college, that learning was over. I didn't have to learn anymore. And that is completely not true. When I got out of school, I actually learned probably 10 times more than I did in school. I started reading books about personal development. I started working on myself. I started reaching out to mentors and surrounding myself with people that would better my future. It's so incredible to me that you can go pick up a business book from someone that has grown a massive business to hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. And you can read their entire life story, their success, their failures in 3 weeks. Think about how powerful that is. Now I want to talk about your brain because this is a big part of your life. It's your brain. It controls your thoughts, your work, everything in life. Your brain controls your drive, which is how hard you work. But your brain is also impacted by your limiting beliefs or your assumptions. Look, the stories that we tell ourselves every single day is the identity that we create for ourselves. And I share this with you because this kind of ties back to what we just talked about, but the way you label yourself is your limitations in life. If you label yourself and you say, oh, I can't get a car like this, or oh, I'm not gonna live in a house like that, or oh, I can't afford a vacation like that. Maybe you can't do it right now, but if you label yourself like that, of course, you're never gonna get it. Look, before I had any money, this was when I was literally in high school, had like $100 to my name, maybe, if that. I saw cars like this, and I didn't think twice. All my friends would think, oh, dude, that car is cool, but I mean, we're never gonna be able to afford that. I never thought like that. I thought, you know what? One day, I'm gonna figure out how to get my hands on a car like that. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but before I leave planet Earth, I'm gonna get me one of those cars. That's all I knew. But the thing is I didn't put limitations on myself. I didn't label myself in that way. I also didn't let my friendships affect my thoughts that also controlled my future. Because the environment that you surround yourself with is the environment your life is going to be. So how exactly do you change? You see, the problem is your brain doesn't listen. I can sit here and teach you all the information. I can give you all the skills. I mean, I gave everyone Bluprint University, but your brain doesn't listen. The goal is not to listen. The goal is to believe. And the other problem is you have people that might be watching this video and they might believe my advice. They might think it's true, but they don't believe it would work for them because they say, oh, well, I'm different, or oh, well, this is different, or oh, well, it's not. It's not different. It's not. You're putting a label, a limitation on yourself by saying that. Your brain is only going to work for you if you believe it. You have to prove it to yourself. You have to believe that it's true even when it's not. I believe that people only change when their energy changes, and that is highly affected by the people that you surround yourself with. So how do you get around better people? It's hard work. Takes a lot of tries. I would go to all types of conventions, business centers. That's how I found some of my best friends that I have today. But I also found some of my best friends that I have today through working hard and building something out of my own life. And then they wanted to connect with me because we both built something great. That's how you get into those circles, into those environments. Many people have a vision for what their future is going to look like. They also might have the education that they need to change their future. But the problem is most people still don't act. Why? Because one of the hardest parts in life is not making the same choices that you made the day before. The next thing I want to talk about is that it doesn't get easier. A lot of people look at my life and they say, oh, you got the cool office, you got the cool car, you got the whatever. They think that once you get to a certain level, things get easier. And I thought this myself. This could also be an assumption. When I had only 100 subscribers on YouTube, I thought to myself, man, the day I hit 1 million subscribers, YouTube is gonna be easy because I'm gonna have 1 million people that love my videos and wanna watch my videos. And it's gonna be so much easier just to make videos. And no, not true at all. Because the problem is once you get to 1 million subscribers, you now have something to lose. And you have to keep these 1 million people entertained. Otherwise, they're gonna switch and go straight to someone else's content. So whether you have 100 subscribers, $100, whatever it is, getting to the millions, the 10 million, the 100 million, whatever, it doesn't get easier at all. I actually think it gets harder, more difficult, because your problems change, they evolve, and some of them even get bigger. Now, of course, when I hit 1 million subscribers, I didn't have the same problems when I had 100 subscribers. When I had 100 subscribers on YouTube, I had problems like, I don't really know how to film a good intro. I don't know how to edit my video. I don't know how to use sound effects. I don't know how to put on a face cam. You know, these are just small problems. There was a lot of problems, but they're small. And now when I have 1 million subscribers, I got bigger problems like, how do I train an editor? How do I fire someone if I need to? How do I scale my content? How am I going to launch merchandise, an entire company that I actually started in my garage? How do I go from 1 million to 5 million subscribers? Because getting to 1 million was so difficult, but I got to keep growing. Otherwise, I'm going to get stagnant and lose everything. You see how the problems at 1 million versus 100 are more complex, more difficult to solve? So it doesn't get easier. Just understand that. Doesn't. Not at all. The next thing I want to talk about is success. Now, some people might have heard this, but success is not a place, a destination. A lot of people think it is. A lot of people call me successful. They might say like, oh, okay, you're successful. I don't think that, because the problem is my rent for success is due every single day. And if I don't pay it, all this stuff fades away. Let's say you build that YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers. Congratulations. Are you successful now? Or Do you have a big problem because you have to keep these million people entertained? Otherwise, you're gonna lose everything you built. So are you actually successful? Now, I'm not saying this to belittle your goals, because hitting 1 million subscribers is a great goal to have, but you really have to think deeply about the future. Because if you get to 1 million subscribers and you think, oh, I'm successful, I did it, I made it in life, 8 months from now, you're gonna lose everything. Because I have had so many friends hit 1 million subscribers, and today they work normal jobs and their YouTube channels don't exist because they got comfortable with their life because they thought they were successful. So, just saying. I get this question all the time: how do you develop skills? Let's say you want to be more disciplined in life. You want more confidence in life. You want more fortitude. You want to work harder, whatever it is. How do you get these skills? Because these are the skills you need for success. So how do you get them? To be honest, it's not rocket science. There's not some secret formula to go get them. There's not some like program to unlock discipline. It doesn't. You just practice them. That's it. If you want to get more confident in life and not be as shy, then why don't you go to the gym or go to the store and try to talk to 5 different people that you don't know, and do that every day for the next 3 weeks. And I guarantee you, you'll be a lot more confident after that. How do you get disciplined in life? Well, why don't you try waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, every single morning, and do something? Or why don't you make your bed every morning? Or why don't you go on a walk every day? Or like, why don't you set a goal and actually stick to it for 30 days? That's discipline. You have to practice these things. The other thing that people don't get is they think that once they get these skills, like once they get the skill of discipline or whatever, they just have it. You don't have it. It goes away. What happens if you work out at the gym for a really long time, you get big muscles, and then you stop going to the gym? Your muscles are slowly going to fade away. And that's exactly how these skills of success are. If you get the skill of discipline and then you stop working at it, it's going to fade away. Simple as that. It's not rocket science. You just have to work towards it and practice it. I got 2 more things I want to talk about, and these are really freaking important. The first thing I want to talk about is rewarding yourself, because I think as humans, we are very, very bad at rewarding ourselves. You need to be very careful with how you reward yourself and make sure you're not doing it the wrong way. For example, let's say you want to go on a diet. You go on a diet for 2 weeks and you work really hard and you eat all the right stuff, you stay away from the bad food, and then you say, oh, I did it. I went on a diet for 2 weeks. Now I'm gonna reward myself with a piece of cake. What? You're telling me that you're rewarding yourself with the thing that you're trying to get away from? You're teaching your brain the wrong things. So as humans, we're very, very bad at rewarding ourselves when we hit certain goals. So when you reward yourself, make sure you're doing it the right way and you're not pushing yourself back into your old habits. The last thing I want to talk about is your environment. At the end of the day, the people, the friends that you surround yourself with is who you're going to become in the future. And sometimes that's hard, because when I was in school, I wanted to surround myself with, big YouTubers and successful people, but I couldn't. I only had 100 subscribers. How am I gonna go meet these people? But at least it's good that I understood that. I understood that these people that I'm surrounding myself with right now might not be in my future, because I wanna be surrounded by really, really good people. I mean, look, if all your friends are losers, you're gonna be the next loser. Simple as that. If you came and you were surrounded by me and my team for a couple days, I think it would change your life. You would see how much an environment impacts you, your motivation, your discipline, your work ethic, everything. When you're surrounded by stuff like this, it just hits you at a different level. And today, almost every single one of my friends that I'm very close with have cars like this. Some of them have Bugattis and other stuff that I'm trying to level up to. But my point is that the environment that you surround yourself is what you become. So as long as you understand that, you can work at that and try to improve it in your future. Now, the way I got around a better environment was simply working hard by myself, building success by myself, because I had to become successful in order to get into those environments. You can't just shove your way in there if you're not successful or if you don't have anything going for you. It's kind of like when you're on an airplane and they say, hey, if the oxygen mask come down, you have to put it on yourself first and then help other people. You gotta help yourself first before you help other people and get into those circles. So thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope this video changed your perspective on life. If it did, please share it with your friends. That's all I'm asking. And subscribe to the channel because we post videos here every single week, helping you get better, more successful, more smart, whatever it is, and it's completely free. You just watch this video for free, other than whatever ad was on the video, but it probably made me like 42 cents because I don't think this video is gonna get very many views because honestly, the car gets views, but me talking about my life and how I got the car doesn't get any views. So hopefully you found this video successful. Hopefully you found this video valuable, and I'll see y'all next week.